If you liked the video, please consider supporting us on Patreon.
Welcome to Pull My Focus, adventures in the world of digital filmmaking, where we give you the inside tips you need to make great video.
James, are you all right?
What's wrong? What's up?
Wow, he's really off.
Ow! What was that for?
Oh, that did the trick.
A little percussive maintenance goes a long way.
Nice.
Why are you looking at me like that?
A lot of different things, you would actually whack it, and the picture would kind of jut, and you hit it again, and then it fixed. And then your dad would say, little mechanical agitation, or as you said.
When we shoot our little bits that we use at the beginning of our Pull My Focus episodes, we have minimal crews, and sometimes it's so small it's just Manu and I. So in that case, generally what I do is I try to use natural daylight as much as possible because I don't have a crew to work a lot of lights. So in this case, I have our actors, Ari and Gabriel, looking into basically a wall of windows. The windows face east. We're shooting in the afternoon, so it's tons of natural daylight coming in. They're totally lit only by that daylight. I don't even have edge light or hair lights on them. Now, I'm shooting with a Canon C100 Mark II, ISO 850 at f-stop of 5.6. The actor's about 5 feet away, so at a 5.6, I have enough of a focus range where if they move a bit in and out of their original position, for the most part, they're gonna be in focus. 5.6 I find is a pretty good focus range and an f-stop that I like to shoot at a lot for these kind of shots, because I don't have an AC there pulling focus for me.
Oh, that did the trick.
A little percussive maintenance goes a long way.
Yes.
Now for James's shot, the reverse, we need to flip the camera over to the other side of the table. Now we're looking right at those windows. They're not lighting him, they're maybe edge lighting him. The only light on him is basically the ambient light in the room, all that daylight bouncing off of the walls and the ceiling. So I need to now use light and very soft light to get an exposure on James and to sort of adjust the contrast between him and the brightness of those windows. So I'm using the newer 47-inch softbox umbrella. I'm using two 250 watt equivalent LED light bulbs in there to get as much light as possible. And I have it pushed up as close to the table as possible to get as much light on James as I can. I still needed more though. So I brought in this really small light box. It's meant to attach with this Velcro strip here to the end of a still photographer's flash unit that they would have on the top of their camera. So it's meant to do that. I instead put an LED bulb in here. This is what I use with James. It's a 150 watt equivalent. So I just put it in there. And normally I would have this on a dimmer close to the lens, and I would, on a medium close-up or a close-up, use it as an eye light on the actor. In this case, I didn't even put it on a dimmer. I got it in as close as I can where I didn't see it in the shot to get additional light on James. Now I used another trick here. I put 216 diffusion and tissue paper on the bottom sections of the windows. And the reason is I didn't want the viewer to be distracted by what's outside the window. I didn't want to distract from James and paying attention to what he's doing, but also we're trying to simulate that this dining room is actually the lunchroom or the cafeteria of a business. So this trick is basically taping them on and allowing them to blow out, which is something viewers are used to seeing in films and videos.
So post-production for this particular sketch was pretty straightforward. It's always fun for me to have a chance to play with music and sound, especially sound effects, because I love kind of layering sound effects and everything. But before I talk about that, let's just talk about a couple of things that we did. Now there are very few shots in this. I think there's like 5 shots in this, or 6 shots. But one thing that we did decide on was after Frank lit the scene very well, we went and got close-ups of the actors to kind of emphasize the thing we wanted to talk about, which we wanted to play around with sound effects. So we got a close-up of Gabriel eating his, I don't know what that was, broccoli, and one of Ari eating a carrot, and the opening of the soda. All that was on set. In fact, we didn't even have to grab it later. We just had hidden mics on each of the actors, and we had the mic turned up a little bit more since they weren't doing any dialogue, and we were able to capture all those sounds with pretty much no problem. So I didn't have to go back and do them again. But we did have on hand our Zoom H5 in case we had to go back and grab close-ups of chewing carrots and opening cans. James, once again, we had swapped out his real sounds for crazy sounds. And instead of going into detail about how I did the sounds in this, shameless plug, I'm going to send you guys over to pixelvalley.com/courses to see a full course I did on music, sound effects, ambiance, and dialogue. And a lot of the tips that I use in that course, you will find I've done right here. Nothing magic. Finally, there was the mosaic of myself when I come into the shot. And I did a video about masking and mosaic masking and mask tracking. I did a video about that a little while ago. We'll link it in the description below. We'll also throw it up in the corner in case you guys want to check that out. And that's kind of how I did the shot where I come in all mosaiced and then, sound like some kind of 8-bit or 16-bit character from wherever. Pretty straightforward post-production, fun sketch. Always like to have these little one-offs that, kind of make you giggle.
Now, I'd like to give a shout out to our actors, not just Gabriel and James, who we've worked with in the past, but also Ari. We've been wanting to work with her on a Pull My Focus episode for a while, and we hope to work with her on more. She's great. We've been working with her on a production that has been written and directed by our friend Sanji at Angry Elephant Productions, and it's called Riding in Cars with Strangers. Ari is the lead, and James as well, and Gabriel has a bit part in it also. It's a 8-episode mini web series that I was AD on, and Manu is editing. So it's going to come out sometime this year. Check the description for a link to their page to get more info about it.
Once again, check out pullmyfocus.tv for our companion articles to these videos. Also as a home, away from home, if you want to check out only our videos. And as we say, in space,
intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Thank you for watching. So long.